Lonna Kelly, and this is Hudson Valley Art Speak. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking to Tillys Strauss. She's an artist, a writer, a researcher, a teacher. Tilly, thanks for coming today.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So Tilly, you recently moved back to the area from Miami.
Yes.
And so you're kind of reacquainting yourself with
the area.
The area,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
How and I asked you before, like, do you find that you are addressing a different subject matter when you do your daily paintings?
Well, yeah, because I mean, Miami and Amenia, New York, is really different, and I tend to use what I see. I paint a little teeny tiny daily painting every day, you know, of just what I see around. So it's definitely different. I'm doing a lot of snowscapes right now and icicles.
Yeah, the icicles
wood
were
piles.
incredible, weren't they today?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I was walking to my car after work, and just a lady started talking to me, and she said, "Did you see the icicles? I took hundreds of pictures."
Yeah, I did too. And then also trying to shovel snow, I've forgotten how to do it. So today I had to like figure that out, and it was a good learning curve there, especially when you got a layer of ice on top. But I took a picture of it, and then I did a painting of that. I did a painting of my dad with the snowblower today. So it's all subject matter that you wouldn't find in Miami.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. So you were teaching when you were in Miami.
Yeah.
And you were involved in a studio with a group of women, or studio space? Yeah.
I was very lucky. Even though I was teaching full time, there wasn't a lot of time to get to the studio. But I found there were 5 women. There was it was a garage district, a warehouse district. So there were just garages with one door up. And so different artists would rent rooms, and it was very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
They were mostly ceramicists. So that I restrained myself and did not take up ceramics. You know, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. And you have your house. You have studio space right in your house.
Right now, I'm writing a book and illustrating a little bit. So I've moved into just a room in the house. I, of course, have delusions of grandeur about some fabulous studio in the future. But right now, I've just a nice writing desk and a comfortable chair and a wall, and I'm set.
Yeah.
So
Tell me about the book.
It's really exciting. It's something I've been working on for the last 3 summers while I was teaching. And now that I'm not teaching, I have the time to work on it all the time. And I'm trying to get it finished. But it's an art history textbook, and based on the family tree, which is really fun. And it's a cross between a letter to my sons and an illustrated text. It's heavily illustrated.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a graphic novel. And they're dyslexic, so short little inserts of information. But I go way back, right? I go way back to the beginning of time, the little stone dolls, because I feel like that's also in my family tree. The way I feel about my body and everything we've been affected by our Barbie dolls, and I'm sure the Stone Age people were affected by the little stone things. You know? So I start there, but I just in March, I was in Germany, like I told you, and researching the 1400s, a grandfather from back in the 1400s.
How hard is it to trace your family back that far?
Well, it's not that hard because I've been lucky that a lot of them wrote, and there were curators, and a lot of them are archivists, and a lot of people ask me that, "Oh, you're so lucky you've got this family tree that can do this, that goes way back, and everybody's involved in the art world." But it's not. It's not just that, and that's where that piece comes in there, with the typewriter. Because it's just they wrote about it. It's a typewriter on a map. They wrote about where they were and what they were doing. So.
And your family has all this documentation?
Well, no, I'm finding stuff out. I'm finding stuff out too. But they give me a good jumping off point. Like should I tell you more?
Sure, yeah.
No, anyway, I just found out I have an uncle in the 1800s who is head of the Egyptian department of the Louvre. And he actually died at King Tut's tomb. He was the 3rd person to die. So that makes the curse. You know, the first one's oh, and the second one's like, ooh, and the third one's like, it's a curse. So everybody, you knew that about him. And it was in 1926. And so I'm researching more of his life, and I found out two things now. I found out that he was cursed before. He 12 years earlier, he was temporarily in charge of the Louvre, the whole thing, while the head of the Louvre went to South America for a Mayan excavation. And that's when the Mona Lisa was stolen.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that's that painting too. That's the empty spot on the wall.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he thought, that was big. Cameras were just being used more and more and more, and a lot of the artwork often was taken off the walls to be photographed. So he was sure it was just that. And then he was, the Louvre is huge. I don't remember how many acres. It's like double-digit acres, of property. So just looking through that place for where it could have been moved to, he delayed 2 days. And then he didn't want to get on the phone because the operators, so he walked to the police station.
True.
So, so my family didn't know that. They didn't know that he had been in charge then. And then I also found out a secret that he's a bachelor on the family tree that we have, but he's not. He's not. He actually has a child and now a great-grandchild, and he was married briefly, but the family disapproved and wouldn't even put her in the tree.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I found that kind of stuff. So I take what the family knows,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's been so exciting. It's been really, I'm kind of crazy.
But you've found a lot of other artists too, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the things is when the Mona Lisa was stolen, they started questioning all sorts of people. Did an American steal it? Did a modern artist steal it because they hate, the classical? And so Picasso was pulled in, and he said, no, he hadn't stolen it, everything. Well, his friend Apollinaire came in, a writer, and it turns out that they had stolen goods from the Louvre. It was easy to steal from the Louvre. And Picasso had 2 Iberian sculptures. And so when that comes out, the Les Demoiselles d'Avignon, he hid it for 7 years. That, the painting has the heads in it, the Iberian heads in the standing, not in the seated ones, but so I get to, in the book, because I'm telling the story to my sons, really, okay, now let's talk about Picasso and who he was and how he treated the female body too, because it kind of has a thread of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then, yes, that leads to more stuff. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, you seem to be writing a lot about Picasso right now.
Well, because his brother, George's brother, Benedict, he was in charge of the Luxembourg Museum, and he was really big into Orientalism, which isn't really politically correct necessarily now. It's like a fantasy of, naked women.
Yeah.
At a time when in Paris, if you showed your ankle a woman showed her ankle getting into a carriage, her social life was ruined. Rosa Bonheur wore pants and shocked everybody while she was painting in stables, So anyway, he ends up developing with the French government a scholarship to a place in Algeria so that artists can go and study the light there. He actually believed it was more than just the women, that subject matter, I think. It was the light of the place. He thought that was what was driving the Impressionists, was the exposure, because a lot of them the French was colonizing Algeria and had been over there. So anyway, Matisse ends up, so I get to talk about Matisse. And the reason I've been doing Picasso recently is that he took on a series of paintings of the harem, the Oriental theme, in honor of Matisse at Matisse's death. So anyway, pull it all in.
It just seems like it snowballs.
It does. It
Yeah.
snowballs.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. How long is this book right now?
I don't know how. It's a lot of. Each chapter has about 23 paintings and about 20 pages of text.
Yeah.
And there's 10 chapters. So far.
And so, are they mostly your paintings, or
all my paintings?
All your paintings.
Yes. I'm copying, but making it my own.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That way I don't have to deal with, I think, getting rights to
stuff like
pictures.
that.
I don't know how to do this. I've never really done this. And so it's like a graphic novel too.
So I know that you have a practice of painting every day, and now of writing every day. That you seem to be very disciplined. And how important do you think discipline is to an artist?
Wow. I think it's very important. I think if you scratch any successful artist, they're showing up. You know, it's discipline starts with just showing up.
Yeah.
And I personally, I kind of have this feeling that time flies, and I'm a lot of times I'm in the past, or I'm worried about the future. And to be in the present, I need to have like a regime. It's like every day for 2 hours I'll be here. Every day I go for a morning walk. That's just my nature. I think to just get a grip on where we are.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Otherwise.
Yeah, there's a lot of distraction.
Yeah, I could probably lay in bed all day too. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
really?
I'm secretly scared that I'm incredibly lazy.
Yeah.
And I find that runs through my family tree too a lot. My dad says that about himself too.
Really?
Yeah.
Your dad, was a veterinarian.
Yeah, and does a million things. Yeah.
Now he's an artist too, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he's actually when I was little. Yes, because he's in the same family. There's been a lot. He's always encouraged us, and we've had art supplies. And now he's making sculptures out of computer parts and jewelry. He's got 5 daughters, so he makes jewelry. Yeah. I should have worn something.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he
show
is.
it off. Yeah. So you are you wanting to get back to teaching up here, or do you just want to finish the book and then?
Yes. I definitely want to get to teaching. One thing I've found, I mean, last spring when I knew I was moving up here in June, I was looking around, and really, tell you the truth, I think any teacher that is like enthusiastic about teaching in May is insane. Okay, I was not. I was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be a teacher. But since I've got through the summer and the fall, I miss it a lot.
Do you?
It might be the best thing I do. Yeah, it might. I really.
What about private lessons or classes?
Well, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping, I'll probably do, I'm going to do something. But I'm hoping it would be nice if I just had a classroom to go to and could do it there, you know.
Yeah.
And they brought me the students. But if I have to market the students, I will.
Yeah.
You know? Because I love it. And it keeps me grounded. And I think it's real important. Actually, I think a lot of, I can't imagine. Could you imagine being a teenager growing up right now? And with what, there's just a lot of, the reality of bad news is they're inundated with it. And art and music and all that can bring another reality. It is just as much reality, but it doesn't get as much coverage, you know?
Yeah.
So I really think part of my job of teaching high school is to expose them to beauty and good things, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I've got to do it. I've got to do it.
So your drawings or paintings right now are pretty small.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. That helps so that I can slide it in an envelope and mail it too. You know what I mean? Just tiny.
Yeah.
And I mean, they accumulate. When you do one every day, they accumulate.
Sure.
I had like 3,000 paintings in Miami that I had to. Well, I didn't have all of them to move back, but it was in the thousands.
Were they framed?
No,
I can't even imagine that.
No, push pin. No.
Yeah.
You know when you have a bunch of frames, they just get knocked up.
I
and
know they do.
else.
They get scratched and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tilly, our time is up.
Oh, thank
And
you.
Thank you so much for coming today. It's great to talk to you. Don't get up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. It was fun.
Yeah.
You know?